Morning folks, got my chair in today because tea break chair. How we doing? Hopefully everybody's all right today. As you can see, I'm in the Polytunnel. Spring is definitely here. A lot of jobs to be done in preparation to do easier jobs maybe. I've been my shed roof, it's got a little leak, so it's only a felt roof for tax. So bitumen paint all the seams and the cracks there, and that's a little job out of the way. And as you can see here, I mean pointing up there, cleaning the polytunnel. That's clean, and you can see there, that's not. I tend to do, I say there's a bit left to do. When it's raining or there's a shower, then I'll go out and clean it. Why do I want to go and do it when it's wet? Simple. Mother Nature rinses off the mess. Saves me having to get up there with the hoses and things, and I don't have pressured water, I only have gravity water, so yeah, it's a lot harder for me. But I've got a long brush, washing brush, and I'll just get up there, loosen it all up, let Mother Nature wash it, rinse it down, and then do it again and do it, and so on and so forth. As you can see on that one, I've been a little bit lazy, but we get there. There's only 2 panels left to do. Let me just turn you down here a little bit so that you can see what's going on here now. Let's see the little one there. She's good as gold. As you can see, I've been prepping up my pots, and funny enough, I brought one down with me. I'm in need of them. As explained before, we just cut the tops off, and once we've cut the tops off, I don't get rid of them. The blue bin here is where I put empty bags of compost into, so that it's easier, and then I use the tops as a scoop. Get me drill, quickly drill some holes, and it won't take me long because there's only the one to do. But it's all about preparation for the busy times ahead. Stick that in the pile, ready to be done. As you can see, I've got a couple of trays already set up along with that. So yes, cleaning polytunnels, repairing roofs with a bitumen based paint, and as you can see with me squinting and the sunlight, surprisingly, you won't see it on there so much, but that corner is slightly darker than this side. Where I've cleaned off the algae, it's amazing how the difference has become. But I have been lazy, I haven't done that for, this is me, it'll be 2 years, so my fault. But there we have it. And then what we then do is, I've got 2 pots ready with compost in. A lot of people will challenge me on this one, but I'm putting in, I brought, because they were on offer, so I bought 2 raspberry canes, and the particular flavour is the Malling Promise. It's my local garden centre that, I need to find a little tub, a local garden centre that they only sell what will actually grow in the climate that we're in, which is very good actually. 2 seconds, I'm just getting some water. And so anything we get from the local one, we know is good. So, and I'll just say, the water that I've just got, part of the planting process is to soak these roots. Let me just, that can all go, to give them a good soak. Keep the elastic band, come in handy. To give them a good soak before you put them in the ground, or in, what I'm doing, which a lot of people will sort of say, oh, you don't have to do that, you don't have to do that. True, I don't have to do that. But what I'm doing is giving the roots and the plants, the young plants, that much more of a chance. I'm going to bring them on a little bit for about a month, and set the roots established in a larger pot, just so that it can establish a little bit, get a little bit of growth going, because of stopping things like slugs and rodents and things. It's just slowing down the process. So what I shall do is, once I've got these, I will look at that, and I shall get these potted in, but they need to soak for an hour, or a decent while anyway. But what we also do is compost. I use my own compost as much as I can. The reasoning behind that is it's good for the planet. This stuff gets, I don't know where that's been shipped from. I try to use my own, plus it costs money. So I try my hardest to reuse everything that I can, but it's not always possible. And what I need to do to make life a little bit easier for me is this can go on the floor. And then, yeah, so, and then we cut that open. I always save these because if people want some logs or a bit of rubbish, very useful. I never get rid of them. So, but yeah, so we're in, spring is here. We're coming, we're getting there, boys and girls. All I do now is loosely fill these pots to get ready for planting seeds. It's just a loose fill for the moment, as you can see. I'll go on and do that all the way through. My spuds are chitting up pretty well. I do have some other ones that are starting to chit up as well. So spring is in here, people. It really is something else, and I get excited about it. And I mean, as you see at the beginning of the video there, what I was doing was using some plastic zip ties, because I've got the foam strips on the metal frame of the polytunnel, because the heat of the coming through in the summer, those poles get very hot, and it'll help to split and tear the polytunnel sheeting. So basic maintenance, there's always something to do. Regardless to say, we can never get an easy life as such. Now those are doing that, and that's doing that. But what I will be also doing is sorting out all my pots. Another thing that I use a lot of, felt bags. Absolutely fantastic, especially if we're in here, because I bring on my potatoes a bit early as well. Then I just line up the pots, and I've got them kind of scattered everywhere under here. And we just get them set up, and I shall get these filled with compost so that I can start getting the spuds in the ground, get them up, because in a previous video I mentioned to you that I brought my spuds on early by bringing them on in the polytunnel, and they became quite leggy, and I'm thinking to myself, I can use that to my advantage. So I'm going to bring a load on again this year, so hopefully they'll get leggy, and then I'm going to be doing the tyre stacks, because one, it saves space, and two, I did find that the crop that came out of them were actually better than the ones I had in the ground. So bit of a no-brainer really, people, wasn't it? So, but yeah, and I mean, all we're doing is literally, you know, filling up pots, minding my own business. Yeah, just enjoying the world of gardening, enjoying the warmth you get from a polytunnel, because it is actually surprisingly warm in here, and I'm enjoying the simple fact that I am preparing to grow my fresh produce. It's something that for me it gives me an awful lot of satisfaction. I know that I'm going to be eating healthier. I don't use any chemicals in my growing process whatsoever. I don't use fake fertilizers. I don't use any fertilizers that are chemically based at all. A lot of the fertilizers that I use, ironically, I can't think of the name of the leaf now. I've got a couple of plants that are growing. I can't think of the name of the leaf off the top of my head, so I do apologise. But basically, you get the leaves. If I can remember it in a bit, I'll tell you. You get the leaves, you put them in a bucket, fill it up with water, let it sit for a good 3 weeks, and it stinks to high heaven when it's we don't have that bucket close to where you're sleeping, that's for sure. I put it right out the back, out of the way, because it really does stink. And it's going to come to me in a minute. If not, if you can think of it, people, can you put it down in the comments to remind me, because I can't think of it off the top of my head now. And but comfrey leaves, off the comfrey plum, the comfrey leaves, those are a fantastic fertilizer. So I normally have 3 or 4 buckets, basically comfrey leaves rotting down, and what they do is the nutrients from them are fantastic. But yeah, it does stink, it really does stink. And but I just think to myself, no, I'm not a tree hugging hippie. No, this is not, I'm not, oh, it needs to be organic. I prefer to use the term, I'm trying to be as natural at growing my produce as I possibly can. Now, some of you say, well, in a polytunnel is not natural, so on and so forth. No, it's not, but it helps. It also, for me, I try to stage the growth of my crops by starting stuff off in here and starting stuff outside, so that crops ripen at a different time to try and give me a longer period of fresh food before I have to start considering things like food preservation for the winter. A balancing act that Mother Nature, generally speaking, takes over and controls, because at the end of the day, she's the boss, isn't she? I mean, there's no 2 ways about it. So yeah, and I mean, I can spend, now that the season's breaking, we're coming out of winter, it's just so pleasant to be pottering in here, minding my own business, getting my hands dirty, yeah, a little bit, getting a little bit more in tune with Mother Nature, and it's just wonderful. The year is coming ahead, you know, there's so many things to look forward to. For me, to be able to get to the point that in the summer, and you'll see it, you'll see my garden and everything, and it all comes to life, it's all growing well. I can have lazy days, just pottering around with a hoe in my hand, getting rid of the weeds, a hose in my hand, watering the plants, just minding my own business, me and the girls, not harming anybody, knowing full well that I will eat reasonably healthy. And I'll tell you what, it's only me stretching. Look at that. A little bit stupid of me. Not, here we go. And then knowing that all of the work that I've put in, the hard work, springtime, that's always a bit, I say challenging. It's a little bit more involved. That's what it is, a bit more involved. But I work like hell in the springtime so that I can relax a little bit in the summertime. And there we have one already done. That'll be ready for putting in seeds. I've got a great big pot of seeds. I keep them all sealed and dried. These are coming on. I'll tell you what, we're cheap. I'm going to get these in now. Just bringing all the roots down nice and so just unraveling the roots. There we go. Just getting the roots in there, and actually because they're long narrow roots, what I'm trying to do is actually spread the root around to give it maximum space to take hold and grow. I think because of that one was a little bit, let's take a little bit of that out for the minute, because the other one was a little bit harder. There we go. To give the root the best chance of getting going, and they'll fill up the pot quite quick. And once they've done that, the whole pot and compost full of nutrients will go into the ground. This I'm doing this personal choice. As I said before, it's not about having a bee. I just want to get these started, give them the best chance to start, to be fair. There we go. Just give them that best chance to start. They can go on the tray down here, and they will get a watering a bit later on. And yeah, it's springtime. Lots and lots and lots going on, but this is just the start of it for me. Yeah, I'm a little bit behind because yes, that needs finishing off, that needs to be cleaned. Well, I'll just clean it, rinse it, clean it, rinse it, and I'm mindful now that I can do it in theory whenever it rains. Oh, we're going to get wet, are we? This stuff, waterproof, excellent behaviour. But yeah, it's just a basic start. I'm going to be spending a lot of time in here. You can see the girls there, look at them. They love it in here because it's warm. They love soaking up the warmth. And they're just laying there minding their own business. This is a happy man. Look at me, I'm in paradise. My strawberries are starting to shoot, my garlic is there, they're all going on. That'll be going out very soon. Need the ground to dry up and a little bit less rain at the moment. Everything is being slightly stalled because it's just too wet out there to do anything, which is frustrating. But it's what it is. The joys of living with nature. Anyway, just a short one, nice and sweet, as per normal. I love those comments. I really do love those comments. Yeah, the like, subscribe, hit the notification. Please subscribe if you haven't. It really does help this excuse me, channel. And maybe the chicken logo up in that corner, maybe technical department, who sees. For those of you who have donated and keep donating, you know who you are, and so do I. I am truly grateful, and I really do appreciate the assistance with your gifts in becoming a chicken owner. Mission Chicken. It is happening, people. Anyway, you take it easy, keep smiling, be happy. You know it confuses the enemy. Ta-da for now.